In light of heavy social media usage, individuals are becoming more and more consumed by the digital world. What they are exposed to on a daily basis is dependent on the algorithm that shapes our experiences with social media. One of the most contentious aspects of algorithmic systems is their tendency to prioritize engagement above all else. This causes them to push any content because others interact with it. Such interactions may be negative or positive, as long as they provide some type of interaction. In this video, we will be addressing some of the negative aspects of social media while examining the research done by behavioral scientist Joshua Jackson. Certain things can cross many individuals' feeds because of the controversy that sparks comments, reactions, and shares. This is often the reason why different people get the same things on their feeds. The algorithm can either share things that they know you will like and interact with because of your past usage history, or they can share things that others have reacted to and think you may like. The second option is very common to gain as much interaction as possible based on how others have interacted with the content. While this could be seen as a harmless, effective strategy, the algorithm will share anything as long as it creates a reaction. Behavioral scientist Joshua Jackson stated the following.
And you might think, great, that's the information that we're interested in, then why shouldn't we just give people as much as we can of that information? But that's like saying, we really like fast food. We should give people as much fast food as possible. Having a lot of something isn't necessarily good just because we've developed a taste for it.
Therefore, the major negative aspect of the algorithm's focus on engagement can often result in the spread of misinformation. Whatever they can plaster on your feed to get you clicking and reacting, whether the information is true or not, is their greatest means of revenue. They don't care what you see, they just want you to click and scroll for as long as possible. Because of this need for interaction, algorithms contribute to the spread of fake news, clickbait headlines, and controversial topics that reinforce a divide in society, creating further misconceptions that there is a lot of hostility and anger among people not only online, but in real life. This can exaggerate reality. The algorithm's emphasis on engagement can often lead to two possible scenarios. Individuals might encounter misleading advertisements and, consequently, generalize that all information on social media is untrustworthy, sparking interactions as they engage in debates about the authenticity of news or disagree with those who trust the information. Alternatively, they may choose to explore other content and conduct independent research to ascertain the truth. Unfortunately, many individuals don't do the latter because they either simply accept or reject the news at face value due to social influence. With the ease of sharing content across platforms, false narratives and fabricated stories can spread like wildfire, often overshadowing genuine news and factual information. As stated by the Chicago Booth Review podcast,
algorithms may be directing us to the most controversial or explosive content in order to spark a strong reaction.
As a result of this growing spread of misinformation, individuals tend to accept anything rather than tirelessly search for the truth. However, media literacy is not a common skill among individuals, and many may fall victim to the spread of fake news. Media literacy can be easier using quick bias meters like on biasly.com. These convenient tools can examine news articles and report on their accuracy and bias. This essentially helps the user get important facts about the article and its author before deciding if they want to trust the news presented. The common perception that social media is not a trusted source for truth can lead to potentially overlooking the actual truth. When things appear to be dramatized, we may assume them to be false when they are actually true. Deepfakes are becoming one of the causes of this uncertainty in society, as AI technology can spread information much more quickly and appear to be real. As a result, our ability to trust information that seems to come from a trusted source is weakened.
Isn't that a terrible thing, that the very idea of truth is becoming so elusive because of deepfakes and misinformation and outright lies that we're fed on social media, that we don't even trust information when it seems to come from a credible source?
Therefore, unless someone is actively looking to get information on certain events, they won't watch more than one video and base their opinion on that video. Algorithms don't prioritize integrity and truth, but interaction. This is why if you like a video, the algorithm will automatically start to share more videos that resemble that to keep you scrolling. This can limit individuals' ability to receive the full truth.
This is all a feedback loop. Algorithms are seeing what we're attending to, and then they're giving us more of that information.
This will create an excessive amount of bias that will result in a loop of repeated information with the same opinions and perspectives that align with the user's beliefs. This essentially harms the growth mindset of the user, making them less susceptible to learning new ideas, especially when they contradict their own. Many individuals mindlessly scroll through social media as a distraction and even as a form to release short waves of dopamine. According to Andrew Huberman, we scroll until we satisfy that craving of dopamine.
And then there's the kind of opioid-like effects of constantly indulging oneself with social media or with video games or with food or with anything, to the point where it no longer evokes the motivation and craving.
When we continuously scroll for hours on end, our brain no longer processes information at the same scale as it does when we are researching and looking for knowledge. We become unmotivated and are simply pleasuring ourselves with the consumption of social media.
Dopamine itself is not the reward. It's the build-up to the reward. But when we can just sit there like the rat with no dopamine, gorging ourselves with pleasures, so to speak, what you end up with is somebody that feels really unmotivated, and those pleasures no longer work to tickle those feel-good circuits. And so there's no reason for them to go out and pursue anything.
Our brains being on this deactivated mode can result in individuals subconsciously disregarding critical information. The algorithm can be harmful if we aren't precarious to what comes on our feed. If we're in a constant state of oblivion, we can be consumed by the fake news and allow the algorithm to create false perceptions of the world in our heads that we may internalize. Practicing good media literacy skills can help us differentiate the truth from the untrue, and most importantly, help us know when we need to research more.